Lurkers. What is up? Hey, Brennan. Bob? Darius? Darius, what did I miss when I was gone? Did you rip on smallmouth? Kyle? Nobody's fishing today? On this nice hot summer day? Daryl, what's up? Cleaning fish. Damn, you're already done. Too hot. Don't blame you. Daryl, where are you at? I'm working for you. Ooh. Hopefully indoors. Burns. Daryl, where are you located? Where are you going in Florida? Brendan? Oh, it's iCast. Stupid ass iCast. I should have known. I mean, glorious iCast. Well, don't be showing off your baits, because then they'll be at iCast 2024. Don't get on there and say, "Ooh, looky what I've got." It'd be a lot cooler if you made baits like this. What exactly is that? Can I see that? Can I take a picture of this? Can I have this? Little weasels down there. Bunch of weasels. Remember that, Brendan? They're all weasels. 5:30 to 10 gave us enough time to limit out on flounder and reds. Damn, that was good. Did you use gulp, live bait? What was the bait of choice? Fish bites? Posted one a couple days ago trying out my new camera. Ooh. Caneyville, Kentucky. Yeah, warm up there. I got one nice morning up in Minnesota. The first morning we left, or the first morning we went out, it was cool, like high 60s, I think. And then the rest of the time, it wasn't that cool in the morning. Like t-shirt was fine. Been up 24 hours? Are you nuts, dude? What are you? You back in college? Are you a college kid again? Into the headwater, caught a couple 2-pounders and got a 311 smallie. That's good. That made it worth the trip. That made it worth the trip. I have to check out your post, Darius, and see. Are you happy with your camera? All right. All right. Come off of there. Ooh, dude. Everybody is unmasked except the crappie. Does the tin overheat with no battery and plugged into the power source? Hella's got hot a couple times. I don't know what he's running. It might be a 10 or 11. I don't know. I remember looking or seeing it, but I don't recall which one it was specifically. Maybe a 10. What color Prowler tube? Daryl, we can't talk about that publicly. I can show you privately. Why, do you have some? Have you noticed that the moss green big game is stiffer? Brennan, I didn't want to sound like a conspiracy kook, but I have always felt like the green did not handle as well as the clear. I use green, but I still think the clear feels better uh, than the green. Whether there's any, I've felt like that from since I was like in high school. I've never preferred the green. I've always preferred the um, I've always preferred the clear as far as castability. The green does feel a little wirier. Um, so it's nice snot drag. Um, I don't know if there's any truth to that. Maybe there is. I don't know that Berkeley would ever admit to it, but I would agree, Anthony. Anything you're adding other than its clear state, it's got to do something. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. I don't know, but I feel like it definitely there is a difference. Um, not much. Sure bet has a bunch at Renegade Marine. Are you on Insta? Are you on Insta, Daryl? Are they old stock? You're not on Insta? You on Facebook? Are you on email? Sherbert is good. Uh, let's see. You're on Facebook? Let's see if I can find you. Oh, Daryl. 2 L's. Wilson. There you are. We're friends. Morgantown, Kentucky. There you are. All right, I'll send you a message and I'll take a picture. They're the 4-inch. All right, Derek. Don't show anybody that. Um, Rich, I did slay them with Hella. We had a great time. We had a great time. Um, one thing that I don't think I'll I'll compliment Hella for a few minutes. Um, Sherbert and Hella Bass, the trip volume 2. Um, Hella had a good. I guess it's just from fishing a lot. Um, but Daryl, do they have the straight sapphire blue ones too? Or it's just like flipping blue, the whole tube's flipping blue? If they have those, I'd be interested in those too. Um, but I can send you a picture of those too. But I like the orange sherbet personally. It's my fave. But anyway, back to Hella. Um, he had really good. I don't know what you would call it. Maybe maybe instincts. He just had a good feel for the water. Um, because, for instance, intuition maybe. Um, but like for instance, we'd be fishing and you just pick up a different bait and just give it a try. Um, for instance, like I threw a buzzbait about a lot, not a lot, but I would just occasionally just pick it up and throw it just to make sure. Um, and I never got a bite on it, but Pella picked it up a handful of times, and he caught two on it. So when it was when something told him try the buzzer, it was like the right time and or the right area and all that kind of stuff. And he caught a big one flipping, and I flipped a fair amount, but I whenever I decided to flip, it was not necessarily conducive to the right water to be flipping. He'd pick up a flipping bait, flip in there, and catch a fish, and and I don't think that's something that comes across in like a video. You wouldn't notice it, or he probably wouldn't be able to tell you that in a video, um, especially if you're like fishing by yourself or something. Um, but me being on the boat, I got to see it. You know what I mean? Um, but That like I said, it's not something you would typically see or be able to understand necessarily in just watching a YouTube video about like the things. Yeah, he's been there. He knows what to look for. And the thing about it is a lot of the places where he caught the buzzbait fish was like a big point, and I never threw. I was always throwing it like in shallow areas that were kind of open. Um, so it made sense. Looking back, like the kind of shit I was throwing it in was not really the kind of shit they were around at all. Um, so that made looking back, I understood. Um, but like I said, it's not something that comes across in a video. Um, but it also just goes to show that like what what the difference like five casts make. You know what I mean? So five casts from two different people. Um, just picking up the bait at the right time and putting it in the right place. Um, say if it was a tournament day, that would have made a really big difference. Um, just fun fishing, it doesn't matter. It's cool just to get bit, but all those kind of all those things add up, and it's really hard to kind of get that to come across how it's done, and it's like I said, he picked up the right stuff at the right time and kind of had that know-how of the water and what to do and when to do it, and so that's why Hellware's advisory needs to expose that head as much as possible to pick up on the fish radio waves. Yeah, yep. So, but I was actually really surprised at the number of fish that weren't scattered out. Um, like we were fishing a grass line pretty much, like the inside grass line. And you would think that if you had a little bit of open water and some like mixed up grass, you could throw a buzz bait around it. You could swim a jig through it. You could throw a skinny dipper through it, and you'd pick up a couple fish. But it was really really hard to get bit on anything other than we were fishing. Surprisingly, because I figured there was enough fish in there that they would be scattered out, and you'd just get random bites. But there wasn't a lot of random bites. I mean, there was a few, and if you got one, it was typically a good one, which was also strange. Uh, that Have a good nap, Jeremy. AJ was surprised at how good we were at skipping ducks. AJ, I'm terrible right now. Like I used to be really good at it, but being being out of fishing for so long, I really embarrassed myself. I felt like comparative to like the old me. So that was actually fishing over this past week was motivation for me to like get back into shape. So I call it the boot camp because I realized how like out of shape I was. Like I could still put it where I wanted it for the most times, but sometimes it was like 3 casts to do it, and it's like, dude, you're pathetic. Who are you? Um, but it did help after a few days of doing it. You kind of get back in the get back in the groove. How many boats were hit? I'd actually tried not to throw at people's docks. I tried not to throw at people's boats. Um, I just like hell would throw at him. He'd bomb a cast in there, and I was not trying to ding somebody's boat. I was not like the bite wasn't worth some Karen coming down on the boat dock and like raising hell. Um, so I didn't. When we got around the dock, I would like pitch around it and like make the easy cast, but I was not trying to like whiz a cast up under the dock. Um, the last lake we went to, I did, but the docks were a little uh, easier to skip around. They were the same docks; they just didn't have as much weeds around them. They had a little more open water to get through. Um, no, we're live. AJ smoked a dock. Yeah, honestly, I bypassed probably a few fish um, by just withdrawing my casts from people's property. Uh, uh, Hella hit some dude's dock at the last lake we went to. The guy was sitting in his chair, and he just stared at us. I was like, sorry. Uh, but yeah, I was the guest. I didn't want to cause any. I didn't want to stir up any shit from the back of the boat trying to whiz a cast up under somebody's dock. Um, so I was scared to ring a pontoon, so I didn't partake in the dock activities because there was so many people, and it was like you know I knew somebody would get pissy and come down there and raise hell about it. So um, what was the water temp? 76, something like that. Um, that was the other thing I learned is that AJ and Hilla said that if you ping a dock, that I asked him, I was like, if you ping a dock, is it like the kiss of death? Because down here, if you ping a dock, a lot of times it's like they run and hide. They said it's the dinner bell that you ping the dock, and then the fish are like, "Ooh, what's that?" And they come and like look for your bait, and I saw that I saw that happen. I want to say I saw the docks pinged a couple times, and fish still actively bit, um, which shocked me. But those northern fish, they don't care. They're just mad. They're mad and happy all at the same time that they can not be under a sheet of ice. So they are aggressive. They are aggressive. They don't care if you ding a dock. They don't care what you do. So it was nice that you can make a you know kind of a an off cast and ping something, and your cast isn't ruined or the dock's not ruined. Um, that's to compete with dinosaurs, yeah, pretty much. Um, so smack pontoons with a wacky rig, never negative instance on the spot. Half ounce jig on the other hand. Uh, just another day with drive-bys. That's pretty much. That was the other thing. Like I've watched a lot of tournaments up in New York, and you see the fish up there. Like you see those, like MLF comes to mind. I see them fishing those northern lakes, and you see them like skip a Cinco up under a pontoon. I didn't realize how many of those. Like now, I understand why they were catching fish under pontoons, because they're literally every other dock has a pontoon in the slip, and people aren't using them. Like that was the weird thing to me, is that the people, there was a very large population of people like chilling on the bank at their house with a pontoon in the slip with the cover on it. And I was thinking to myself, it's 4th of July weekend, and there's like 500 pontoons tied up, and none of them are being used. Everybody's just chilling on the bank. No wonder the fish get around. They don't ever leave the boat slip until it's wintertime. But that was a cool. Um, Biggest largemouth, 509 something, 502, 5 something. Oh, it didn't break 5. He tried to knock my fish off. Let's see if I got a picture of it. That was a good one. Biggest walleye, smidge under 7. Can't see it. So just shy of 7 on the walleye, 5-pound largie. I don't know. I don't think my smallmouth. I don't think I caught a 3-pound smallmouth. Maybe I did. I can't remember. I don't know. But where are all these bags? What did I do with the eyes? It's going to be hard to put eyeballs in these baits when I don't have any. One thing, this room is destroyed because when I was packing, I was just throwing shit everywhere. Well, oh, I got that bait finished. How about that little specimen? Look how clear that one showed up. Wonder why it showed up so clear today. I want to catch one. How many beers? There were some beers consumed. We got in so late there wasn't really enough time. You had a little opportunity to drink one, cooking dinner. Like when you got back, drank some beer. But I don't like eating food and drinking beer simultaneously. I just don't. I've never been like that. I don't like the taste of beer with food. So I didn't drink with dinner. Some people can do that. But yeah, the big walleye came on that bait. I caught some other ones on this thing too. Some other walleye. So the walleye like this. Yeah, I like beer on an empty stomach. Agreed. Hayden, the walleye was very delicious. Very delicious. The hella kind of pump faked me. He was telling me about the trip. He's like, hey, we're gonna maybe go catch a walleye. We'll go catch some fish. He was laying out his plan, and he was like, I got shore lunch stuff, and I was like, great. This is really gonna be quite the guide trip, this guy is gonna somehow clean a fish or cook a fish on his boat. Seems messy, but I was like, this is pretty fancy if this guy's planning on pulling up to some bank somewhere and getting out and cooking lunch. I didn't know. We got back to the house and he's like, here's the shore lunch. He set this box down and it said shore lunch on it. I was like, what is this shit? And he's like, that's the batter for the fish. I was like, oh, when you said shore lunch, I thought you were gonna cook it on the boat. And he was like, no. I was like, oh, what kind of damn trip is this? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, shore lunch is when you like pull up and like catch a fish and then you go eat it. And he's like, no, it's not happening. I was like, okay, I was confused. The walleye did not. It was not the best fighter. The big one fought pretty decent, and I don't know that it fought decent or if it was just because I had 7 pounds on the other end of my pole. I really don't think it fought that great. It was just heavy. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, I think it was just because it was big. It wasn't any kind of fight. It was just pulling up the weight. Um, I did have something on a Ned rig the last day in a deep grass line. I think it was a pike though. But my bait was hunting some weeds and then it just started going and like pulling really hard. It was either that or a walleye. I feel like it was a pike though, but it kind of just got me messed up. It got me hung up in the weeds, and I thought I had it out. I had it out for a little bit, and then I got it, and then it got hung again, and then it finally broke off. But probably a pike. Um, but how many stars? I would give Hella. I would give Hella. I'm trying to think if there's any subtractions from a 5-star review. I don't think so. Shore lunch seasoning is fantastic. I think I told my dad, I was like, you need to order some of this shit. It's real good. Um, no perch. No perch. Um, surprisingly. Um, yeah, 4.9 for shore lunch miscommunication. But yeah, I think if Hella wanted to branch off from his channel and get another revenue stream in, he could offer these fishing experiences. I wouldn't call it a guide trip. I would call it an experience. Um, just go to these random lakes. But I think you'd have to. I think it would be best for out of town people like me. Like you fly in, and then you go to some random lake, and then you go home, and you don't ever have to like worry about people going back to your lake. Not that it matters, but so maybe that's what he was. Maybe that's what he was doing. He was testing the waters to see how his guiding abilities would be. If he could tolerate people from the south coming up and if he could tolerate taking somebody out from the south and putting them on fish, I think it would be fun. Book your trip. Coming in 2024. Hella adventures. I think it would be fun. The beautiful thing about it up there is that like we were talking about, there's so many lakes and there's so many opportunities that like if they're not biting somewhere, you can put your boat on the trailer and be somewhere where they are biting in like less than 30 minutes. There's lots of like opportunities to catch fish other places. Um, My biggest smallmouth I missed was probably on this bait. Ran at me, jumped off like I was reeling it in, and it hit it running at me and kept coming at me, and I couldn't catch up with it, and it hit and jumped and I missed. Lake hopping, yes, there's huge opportunities for that. So I feel like there's oh, that's what we're talking about, like how many 5-pounders you drive by to get all the way to like Big Stone. Lots. Where are the tails for these baits? There they are. Oh. All right, let's pull these all off. There they are, still in the box that got shipped in. All right. I need scissors. Would you live up there? 100% no. Because Hella showed me some videos of what do you call them? Ice heaps. And like he's telling me kids like drive snowmobiles to school and shit. And I was like, nah, dude, I'm out on that. I am out. I couldn't handle the cold. I could not handle the cold. I think that would be the move. That's what I was telling my parents. We were over there chilling, and I said, people from the South are dumb, dude. Like we always going to the beach as a kid. We'd always talk about the snowbirds that would come down from up north during the summer or from the winter and live at the beach. And I was like, but you never heard of the opposite. You never heard from people of the South. Like I never knew anybody that was like, yeah, we're leaving in June. We're gone. We're going to Minnesota. We're going to Maine. We're going to like somewhere not miserable. And or you wouldn't even hear people like most time people take summer vacation. Like, oh, we're going to Disney, hot as balls. Oh, we're going to the Bahamas, hot as shit. Oh, we're going to Mexico. Like you leave a horribly hot climate to go vacation in a hot climate. Um, but I think going up north for the summer, if you're able to do that, or just take like a week long vacation, would be awesome. Like spend the 4th of July up there for a week or something. Um, there's also split ring. I think there it is. So yeah, I would definitely see spending some time up there during the summer. That would be fun. That would be fun. All right. Let's see here. What are we doing? Squawk says climate change is going to keep you warm up there. Hopefully, Marty 4 far north he likes. He jumps to Louisiana there. In winter goes up to state in winter. Raisin butts. Screwing up our nice winter. Travis, how far south would you want to go? Like Tennessee? I feel like Tennessee is the perfect state for weather where you get an actual cool, you actually get a winter, like you get kind of seasons maybe. Maybe Darius could chime in if he's still around. Anybody that lives in Tennessee, Kentucky. I feel like that's about as far north as you get. Arizona. Wow. That's real south. You want the dry. You want the dry. I need to go get me some of that professional glue. Southern Kentucky. Just like the Linders. Do they live in Arizona? I didn't know that. I did not know that. It's not dumb. It's not dumb. Arizona's awesome. South or North Carolina is as far as I want to go north. Yeah, they still got some like. I feel like Tennessee. You get occasional snow that keeps you entertained. Even North Alabama, I feel like you get a little more seasonal winter. Like down here, we don't get winter. Like it gets cold for like a week here and a week there. For the most part, it's not cold, which really sucks for like. It really sucks for like holidays, like Christmas. I was telling Hell on the ride home. I was like, dude, if AJ came down here and we went and fished like a backwater in August or July, and there's no wind, and it's like 110, humidity's 90. I was like, I think that dude would die. He's like, you think? I was like, dude, it's brutal. Like, unless you're used to it, it would be the same as taking me up there in the wintertime and AJ being like, "Oh, let's go fishing in the winter." I would tap out. I would tap out. I would say, "Take me home, dude. I cannot handle this cold." That fits. I'd rather deal with guides freezing, but I feel like everybody should experience it. Um, Travis, Amy, and I went over there for a. That's where we got engaged. Was in Arizona, and Arizona is really cool because you can be in the desert and then you're in like the cool mountains within like a 45-minute drive. It's pretty wild. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Okay. A little too much glue, but whatever. Put the hats on the side. Let me go make a count and see how many I have. I'll put them up today. As long as the wind isn't blowing, the cold doesn't bother you. But the wind always blows, right? All right, let's see here. Maybe this one will fit better. Always got to have one tight one. It doesn't fit. I need my, I need a piece of sandpaper or something. That's too small. I need like a 220. See if I can find something to stuff in here. I need something thin like a crankbait bill. Yeah, here we go. Usually, but the same way you get calm post-frontal bluebird days in the summer, you get them in the winter and it will be below zero. No thanks. What's up, Tom? Trying to clean this slot out from my tail. A little better. Getting there. I'm going to listen. I'm repairing the boat trailer for almost catastrophic failure coming home from vacation. You should message Morgan Mason. He also had catastrophic failure. He's had really bad luck with his axles lately. Zero and calm is much more pleasant than 30 and blowing. AJ, I've said that to people that like I've been colder here when it's 48 degrees or 50 degrees than I've ever been in like Kansas when it was 20s. And I guess it's the humidity that makes it that bad. But there are some days here where it's just awful. But you wouldn't expect it. Like if I told you I was freezing and it was 48 degrees, I'd be like, nah, dude. That's why I'm staying away. There we go. Nice fit. All right. Nice fitment. You ever see the peg leg on zip ties and bias plies? The dude is in Canada and gets wild in the winter. Peg leg? I don't think so. Where do I find him at? YouTube? The tube? Order more baits, please. Just drop 850 on my daughter's car. Ouch. Well, I can do that. I'll get these moving down the road. Another group of poppers might help you there in the car department. Bernsey, it seems like everybody that went out and threw the popper this past weekend after they got them did real good. Mike got some good ones. Brennan got some fish. It's a good sign. I don't think I want to put Marty in the Moab department again. What is that? What are we getting hung on? What are we getting hung on here? You threw it for redfish, Kyle? I got some, didn't have my camera yet. Well, that's unfortunate. But I feel like it was one of those baits that like people got bit on immediately, which is good. Which is a good sign. Okay, Marty, can I please have permission to make a Moab wake? Smallies. Ooh. I thought about throwing it up there. I took one with me, but I was scared to lose it. I didn't want to leave it in Minnesota. Looks like a popping shrimp to me. Yeah, it'll be good in October. Later, Rich. All right. Should look like a crappie, right? Should look like a crappie. Brendan, that's what Hella was telling me. I guess I need to up my game to get me to 5 hundos so I can get monetization. But I don't like making videos. I just like talking to people, to you people. I just like talking to you humanoids. Yeah, it's a pretty good looking bait. If I'm where's my paper? I don't know which side's the better side. Should look like a crappie. I'm guessing if you're trying to mimic a crappie, that should get the job done. I could do shorts. I don't want to. I got better stuff to do than shorts with my painting. I'd rather do shorts of bait stuff. Hayden, not if you have. Well, that's why they don't like live streaming, Hayden, because I don't think they advertise during live streams. So that's why live streams don't take. That's why live streams are at the very bottom, because it's hard for people to get their mind sucked into advertisements on a live stream because they're not able to blast you. So that's why YouTube doesn't like me, because all I do is live stream. I don't put out actual content. I just talk. Is the Mobile bass and reds like big shrimp, like, or live or artificial plastic, or do they like? Yeah, they like, I feel like they like the just the eating size, 3 inchers. Um, the reds like, I think the reds like the big juicy ones, but I think the bass just like, uh, volume. They're not too picky. The only complaint I have with these new BGCs, the new gill, is that the eyes he sends don't fit the holes, and that bothers me because they're not going to stay. All right, let's get these things in here. Come on, dicks. I'm gonna finger them up and get fingerprints all over them. What is going on, dudes? Are you kidding me, dude? What is going on? Weird. These don't have any sticky on them. They're just falling off. Weird. What was that? I have glue on me somewhere. Where is it coming from? Over here? I had to sand that off. Speaking of ads, is it me or is this year extremely quiet for iCash? Using my YouTube feed is pumped with new product drops and most recent BPT. Wasn't any teasers. Patreon, yeah, I'm trying to get one for next week. Tentative guest. A lot of times I'll watch something to a commercial, click it off, and go to something else. The commercial makes me move on. Yeah, it's so funny. Like when my daughter goes over to my parents' house, they have cable. We don't have cable. So when she's at their house, she's subjected to commercials, and she doesn't know what they are. Like when they come on, she's like, "What is this?" Now she's kind of used to them, but for the longest time when she first started going over there, she was not feeling the commercials. But I pay for YouTube Premium, so I don't watch commercials anymore on the tube. And it seems pretty dumb, but it's like my one. Like like I said, we don't have cable, and like I watch YouTube more than anything, so it's worth the $10 for me to not get commercials. It's a pretty enjoyable experience. Cable is still a thing for some unknown reason. There are people that still pay for it. My parents, for one, and they pay out the ass. Brennan, you need to wait for you to get drawn in a bait before you switch. If you want my professional opinion, that's what a smart man would do. As you're like unwanted guests on your fishing spots that ask you how you're doing. Tom, I agree. The other thing about ads is I'm more likely to not buy a product that has an annoying ad. Like all ads don't bother me. I understand that they're a necessary evil. But if you have an annoying ad, I will probably not buy your product because A, you're interrupting my show. B, you're annoying. And C, you're annoying. And D, you're interrupting my show. All right, let's see if I can squeeze these on. I don't know if they'll hold. Probably not. They don't fit. All right. Let those dry. Let these all dry. Got sheds. Got sheds. We got green sheds. And a crappie. All right. What else? There's the new Burns medium diver. I won't show the lip off yet. This was just the color I came up with on the I felt like doing. Kind of gizzardy. South J. Cable overrated. Pay 180 to 220 to have 600 channels I have zero interest in. Yeah, that's pretty much what my parents have. I think if they would cut the cord, they would understand that they don't use half like it's completely unnecessary. So next will be these. I have to get to sanding these. A lot of sanding. So later, Anthony. I'm about to get out of here too. I'm about to reach the 1 hour mark. I've been trying to stay within those parameters. I'm going to give this one another shake. Pun intended. Literally and figuratively, I'm going to give it a shake. But I'm going to actually fish it and give it a fair shot again. Look at this bag of balsa goodies. The damn walleye crusher. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Wonder Bread coming up. So, all right, dudes, I'm going to go in there to the sink and probably wet sand these. See what I can get done. Hopefully have these ready beginning of the week. Then we'll start on something new. This one? I don't know, but those scales are popping, bro. They've got a little faint line of purple that runs under the scales. Um, can't really see it. Almost covered it up, but yeah, that's a damn. Darius, good seeing you. AJ, you have a Wonder Bread sticker stencil. Perfect. You cut vinyl on your machine, AJ? I was thinking of getting one of those because I need to cut something. I had a really good idea. I need to cut. Need to cut something. Yeah, actually, before I painted these, I actually cleaned out my mesh so it was fresh. Oh, they're good. Popping. Your stencils out of cardstock. Brendan, they're not expensive. Look on Facebook Marketplace. The hens around you will probably be selling the Cricut, whatever they're called, Cricut machines, um, by the droves. They get them, want to make little arts and craftsy shit, then they realize that it's not for them. So they're everywhere. Let's look. I'll look right now and we'll see. Cricut, Cricut, clean mesh versus 5-year-old buildup makes a world of difference. It does. It does. Here's a Cricut Expression, 50 bones. Is that one worth a shit, AJ? Or do I want the Explore Air 2? Here's an Explore Air 2 in the box, $100. Air 2 Explore, Air 2 Explore, $100. Explore Air, assorted papers, 6-drawer storage. Oh, that's cool. 120. Where's that one at? Pensacola, too far. Explore 3, 275, new in the box. Air 2, 150. Yeah, dude, there's literally it's like if you want to buy a used Chevrolet truck. Um, you have the Explorer Air 1 and you have no need for an upgrade. So I could buy the 1. Well, that's good to know that I don't need one of these fancy ones. But yeah, they're everywhere. Explorer Air 2. There you go, Michael. His wife has one, and she made Devo's "Shut Up, Randy" shirt. There you go. The 2 is faster. It seems like I see more 2s than 1s or 3s on there. So I'll probably end up with a 2. I've been saying I'm gonna buy one for 2 years now. Still haven't, but maybe one of these days. I need something else to go on my desk here that takes up lots of room. Brendan, I think they cut both. They cut both. hook up whatever you want. I don't know, Brendan. I never heard from old Debo. If he wants a guest on his stream, he could certainly ask me. I'd rather be dead than listen to Randy. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. What is Randy? What is Randy grow? What is Randy grown to? Randy Blockett Fishing. Intuitive Angling. What a stupid name. $105K. Somebody say he posts 4 videos a day. 2 videos a day. I guess when you don't fish, like when you don't have a job, it's pretty easy. Plastic, felt, silk, etc. Cardstock is free. AJ, I bet you could cut this stuff. It's what we use for the t-shirts, putting the design on, and then you burn this into the screen. I bet you could use this, and I have an abundance of it if you would like some sort of clear material, and it's really durable. I don't know if you need anything, but this too would also be free because I have boxes of it. So this is actually what I cut most of my stencils with now, but I'm doing it by hand like a Cro-Magnon man. I don't use a fancy machine, but maybe one of these days I'll get with the future. Brian, what's up? John, I think. Brendan, did you put a feather on yours? Mike, level printer, level game changer. I think Mike was using a feather, and it didn't seem to matter on that big old large head. There you go. Look at that damn slab. That was feathered. So that fish didn't care. He caught some big ones. Brendan did not like it. Yeah, sorry, Darius. I got long-winded. As per usual. But I think it's Randy's college age son that is running the wood scrubs. Randy can't pronounce most of the BS and isn't intelligent enough, nor has the time to do that channel on his own. Probably not. It will wag. You have to reel it real slow though, and you got to get in the right cadence, and it'll wobble. But it's at one speed. You can't just burn it in. But if you reel it real slow, it'll creep back and forth. I would put a 2. I would put a 2 or a 3. Probably 3. I actually had 4s on mine. So, excuse me, I didn't mean 2. I meant 3. If you have 3s, I would recommend 3s. Yeah, 4s worked very well. You could probably upsize to a 3, but I don't know what it'll do. I don't know what it would do. Burn says 4. All right, dudes, y'all have a good rest of your weekend and your Saturday. Try and go fishing. And 3's tangled in the mouth. I would say 4's. Okay, so 4 is the magic number. There you go. You don't want them tangling in the mouth. I chose right. Maybe do a 3-hook one with number 8s. All right. Y'all be good. Thanks for sticking around. Check in with y'all next week. Later, dudes.